Hey there, Stampers. Happy Friday. Welcome to this week's Facebook Live. My name is Sherry Roth. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Alberta, Canada, and I am excited to be here today to share with you a couple projects using the beautiful Earthen Elegance suite of products and the Earthen Textures bundle. So let's go through some of the items that are part of this suite before we get started. So it includes this bundle, which allows you to create kind of some chic, sophisticated kind of cards. And they're great for cards for any occasion, and masculine or feminine. Really, just depends on the colors that you choose. So some great options there. And then there's the Earthen Elegance DSP. Now you can see I don't have a ton of it left. Some I've used more, but I'll do a quick little flip through. So one side has like a little bit more of a pattern to it, and then the other side is just a little, the smaller patterns. So, and lots of these patterns are great. They have like kind of that pottery kind of feel, and they're great for cutting out the vases. I love this one. I had to keep this one whole because I want to do a scrapbook layout with this one as a background. It's so pretty. And then that, and then this one here, and that. So some fun DSP. And then also part of the collection is this woven, what is it called? Or wavy trim. And it's almost like a linen thread or a jute that's kind of woven together. It's so pretty. I love it. And then I've thrown in the Neutrals adhesive backed sequins to go with them. So those are kind of the products that I'm using today. And those are also the products that are featured in this month's class to go. And if you stick around until after I'm finished making the cards, I will share a peek at the cards if you haven't seen them yet that Laura and I are doing. All right. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Oh, I don't want to show you the card just yet. Okay, so we're going to make two cards today. Good morning, Kathy. Good morning, Shara. Welcome. All right, so I've got a few things. I've got many things actually done. This is going to be a quick Facebook Live. I've got two classes today, so the first Friday of the month is always a very busy day for me. All right, so I have, let me share what I've got. I've got a thick white card base, so just a standard size. Good morning, Layla. Oh, I'm glad you got your So Refreshing card kit. And the card kit for, what class am I doing today? The Color Club card kit will go out today. So you'll get that shortly. And you should get an email from me later on today with the directions. Okay. And then I've got a piece of Moody Mauve that measures 4 by 5 1/4. I've got a piece of Pebbled Path. I love these two colors together. Pebbled Path measures 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. Don't worry about jotting down these measurements. Once my blog post goes live, all of those measurements will be over there as well. And then I've got a piece of white cardstock, basic white cardstock that measures 3 3/4 by 5, and it has been embossed using the Basics 3D embossing folder. So this is one of the 3 folders that is an online exclusive. It comes with 3 different patterns. Comes with this one, which I call the crosshatch pattern. So you can kind of see there. It's got a polka dot pattern and there is a floral pattern as well. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and adhere these 3 pieces together. And I always like to start with the top layer and work my way down rather than work my way up, because that way, if anything needs to be trimmed, I can trim it as I go. Whereas if you stick it down and you realize that, oh, that's not quite right, it's harder to trim. Okay. And that goes on there. So I'm just using multi-purpose glue that I've put into this bottle that I picked up on Amazon. You can check a few, if you missed my post about it, I did post a link last week or the week before with where you can find these on Amazon. They're pretty inexpensive. It's fabulous. I have been using it for almost a month now, if not longer, and I haven't had no problems clogging. I love it. All right, so that is our base. We're gonna slide that aside, and then I've done some die cutting. So let me share what I've got here. I've got this die cut from some Moody Mauve, so this one here, and I love this one. Like, look at that. You could even fold along those score lines to give it a little bit more texture and dimension. And then I've got this one cut from vellum. I've got this one cut from Pebbled Path, and we're gonna do something else to this one. I've got this piece cut from a piece of the DSP, and that's it for now. Okay, so we're gonna add a little bit of texture to this. So this die here, this is the one we're gonna use. We're gonna bring in our little mini machine. Oh, knock everything over here. We're gonna bring over our little mini machine. And, okay, so I'm gonna put my vase down. Oh, let's do the marked up one at the bottom. I'm gonna put it down this way, and then this piece, this is gonna add some detail to it. So it's going to deboss it. It's not going to cut it out. So I'm just gonna stick this across like that, add this over top, and then feed it through. And we're gonna get this beautiful texture added to our vase. You see that? Love it. Such a nice little added detail. All right, and then we're gonna do a little bit of stamping, and I also have I have a little piece of ribbon as well. All right, so I'm gonna turn this into a thank you card. I'm gonna use Pebbled Path. So this first card, there's not a lot of stamping on this first card, but the second card, there's a lot more stamping. So I'm gonna use this thank you greeting that is part of this set. I love the way this is written, the little font with the line underneath the vowels. Oh, this is a narrow piece. Let's see how straight we can get it. Oh, not bad. All right. Okay, so we've got all of our pieces. We're gonna start assembling. So I'm gonna take this piece here and add it to the top of my vase. That's gonna give it a little bit more pattern, and it just adds a nice little added detail to it. That's gonna go right at the top. And it kind of changes the shape of the vase, which is kind of nice. There we go. And this we're gonna pop up using some dimensionals. So what does everybody have planned for this weekend? It's a long weekend here in Canada. I'm not sure if it is in the States or not. Okay, before we stick this down, I'm gonna add this piece, and I'm just gonna kind of fold it up to give it a bit more dimension. And I'm gonna add, actually we're gonna use a dimensional, but I'm just gonna put one dimensional kind of right here. And then we'll tuck that in here like that. I'm gonna just kind of give this a little bit of a curl. Good morning, Betty. I hope you're feeling better. Okay, that's gonna go on there like that. And then we can peel off the backing. And we're gonna stick this down. Actually, I want to move this up a little bit too far down. All right, there we go. Okay, this piece is going to get trimmed. So I'm just going to angle cut. And then I'm going to bring in some seal adhesive. You can also use mini glue dots, but what I'm going to do is just add a little bit of this, if I can get it going here. Across the bottom, and then add my ribbon to the bottom of this. So I have just that little bit of scallop detail across the bottom of the greeting. Trim these ends so they line up with the end of my greeting. And then we're going to pop this up using a dimensional just on the one side. And then I'm going to add a little mini glue dot. Grab my paper piercing tool here. All right. And I'm just going to put it on the ribbon. There's already adhesive on. I could probably actually add a dimensional, but then I need a double dimensional on this side. You'll see why in a minute. All right. So then this is going to go across like that. And we're going to finish it off with a few sequins. So I'm going to bring in the neutral sequins. And we're going to use the silver ones. Just because I think the silver looks really good with the gray. And there we go. There is our first fun card using the Earthen Textures bundle. It's a simple card, and don't you think it looks so classy? I really like the look of it. And I think that could be used for anyone, even though there is kind of that mauve color in there. You could pass this on to anybody. All right, so that is the first one, and then we're gonna make another one. This one's gonna use a lot more stamping. So I'm gonna bring in a scrap piece of paper, and let me grab the pieces that I need for this one. Okay, so let me go through what I've got here. All right, so our card base is a piece of copper clay, just a standard size card. And then I've got a piece of Pretty Peacock. Love these two colors together, copper clay and Pretty Peacock. Such a nice color combination. This is 4 by 5 1/4. And then I'm going to use vanilla as my neutral this time. I've got a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of vanilla for the inside. And then this piece measures 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And we're going to keep these two out for now. And then I've got some ribbon. I've die cut these same pieces as last time. So if I bring in the dies, this piece from Pretty Peacock and this guy from Vellum. I love this guy cut from Vellum. It's a great way to add just a nice little subtle piece. And then I die cut this vase from some copper clay, and you're going to see how I use that in a bit. Okay. So let's do our stamping. I'm going to bring in two colors, copper clay and Pretty Peacock. And we'll open up both of these. I've got the smaller of the two vanilla pieces that I'm going to work with first. And we're going to take this image from the stamp set and we're going to stamp it in Pretty Peacock. And we're going to do it kind of all the way around. So we're going to create almost like a border. Well, it is a border. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing with copper clay and this image. Just fill in some of those gaps. So that it's pretty full all the way around the edges. And you can see that some of them I'm putting a little higher up, some of them are a little where it's just peeking off the edge. All right, and now what I want to do is I'm going to take my blending brush in the copper clay. I'll tap off the excess because this is a new ink pad, so it's really quite dark. And with a very light hand, I'm going to go all the way around the edges. And this is just going to soften it a little bit. So this card is going to have a very different feel from the first card that we created. But that's what's so great about making your own cards is you can switch it up, get creative with it, and just play. So I'm just adding just a soft, like a hint of color around the edges. So there's what it looks like, and that's what it started as. So you can see that it gives it a very different look. Now for the inside, we're gonna do, so this is gonna be a landscape card. So I'm gonna do that same process, except I'm just gonna do a strip across the top. So I'll take this guy and just stamp a few of them here. And then this one. And then I'm gonna, actually, I'll slide this aside for now. We're gonna need that color in a minute. Okay, and then I'm gonna do the same thing. Just add a little hint of color around the edges. I don't use vanilla as my neutral very often, but I felt like this card just called for vanilla rather than white. All right, okay, now we can shut this up or close this. And we're gonna take our thank you greeting again. So this is still inked with Pebbled Path. So I'm just stamping off to get that ink off. And what I'm gonna use this vase for, so it's intended to be used as a vase going this way, but it also makes a great place to stamp your greeting. So I'm just gonna ink the thank you up with the pretty peacock, and let's hope that we get this on straight. And now I've got my greeting for my card. All right. So we've got all of our bits and pieces here. We're ready to start assembling. Actually, we want to do one more thing to this piece. I want to add a little bit more distressing because we're going for a little bit more of a vintage or rustic look for this card. So I'm taking my paper snips and I'm just distressing around the edges. You do want to be careful when you're doing this because our paper snips are very sharp. So it would be easy to kind of slip and then cut yourself. All right. Okay, and then I'm going to take this corner and curl it up. Okay, now we're ready to assemble. Bring in our multi-purpose glue. I'm going to add that to our peacock layer. And then this to our card base. And then we'll add this to the inside. Oh, fun. Shara, what are you guys doing for date night? Are you going out for dinner? Are you going to a movie? What are your plans? Oh, I'm sorry you're still not feeling well, Betty. I know, isn't this a fun background? Love it. It would be nice on a scrapbook layout as well, going around the edges like that. Okay, so let's work on our focal point. So I've got this piece here. I'm just gonna trim, I don't need all of this. So I'm gonna trim that a little bit and kind of fold this up, give it a bit more dimension, only add adhesive just to that one little bit there. And then this is gonna go here. And then I'm gonna trim this a little shorter as well. We'll add a bit of adhesive here. This is gonna go on here like this. And then our ribbon, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna hold these in place. Just put a little bit of seal across it. And our ribbon's gonna get kind of folded over like this. I'll probably have to use a mini glue dot as well. I don't know, yeah. I'll need to put a mini glue dot over top of that. Let's see. So I'm using these mini glue dots. These are leftover from this month's Paper Pumpkin kit. That's why they look like this and are not in a roll. So I should tell you, in August, if you guys are a fan of Paper Pumpkin or you're a fan of simple, quick, and easy projects, take a look at our card kits, our kit collection online, because the kits are on sale up to 30% off this month. And there are some fabulous kits, including a brand new one. It's holiday tags. It is so cute. So that is also on sale. And it was just released at the beginning of, you know what, I did this the wrong way. We want it to go, oh, you know what, we'll leave it the way it is. Just released at the beginning of August and it's on sale. Super cute. So if you're looking for quick and easy holiday tags, that would be a great one to pick up while it's on sale. The sale is on until the end of August. And they're also great if you're looking for something to keep the kiddos busy during the summer. All of our kits are great for kids. They're simple, quick, and easy projects for you to do. You can sit down and have a little creative time. If you're camping or heading out to the lake, that's another way that you can use our kits. You can take them along with you and you don't need to bring a ton of stuff, but it still allows you to get your creative fix in. So lots of great reasons to use kits. Crafting on the go. All right, so this time I'm using the darker brown sequins that are in that collection. And there we go. So two very, very different cards using the same bundle. Oh my gosh, look how crooked my screen is here. I don't know if that's going to be any better, but super, super fun. So this Earthen Textures bundle is such a fun one to make, like more sophisticated, beautiful cards. And it's also the one that Laura and I are featuring in this month's Class to Go. So let me share a quick peek at the projects that we're making, or that you'll be making if you participate in the Class to Go. And if you do sign up for option 1 or 2 before the end of the day tomorrow, Saturday, these are the 2 bonus card kits. I'll send you 8 card kits instead of the 6. So check that out. I'll post a link to where you can find all the information in the description. All right, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Beautiful cards. All right, so the deadline to register for this card class or Class to Go is the 9th. But again, if you're going to register for it, register for it so that you qualify for that early bird bonus. And that is by the end of day on Saturday. And then I wanted to share another upcoming class that I have. If you are a scrapbooker, Check out this class. It's called the Gorgeously Made Layout class, and we're going to do a 2-page spread for any road trip photos that you have. And we're going to do this fun title. So this is going to be the left-hand page, and then we're going to do a facing right-hand page that will accommodate lots of photos for your most recent road trip. All right, so check that out over on the stampedtreasures.com blog under events. You'll find all the information for that. All right, so thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you all have a fabulous long weekend, and I will see you again next week. Take care. Bye, guys.